Welcome
to
guys.
Twin City Peaks,
Episode 24.
24, I believe. My name is Simon.
I'm Tyler.
That's Tyler. Welcome, everybody.
You want to know that I think this is the first time we've done an intro?
I actually was about to comment. This is the first time we've done a legitimate intro.
Right off the hop.
And you know what? I don't like it.
No, it's not going to happen again.
We're never doing this again. You will always forever get the candid Tyler just not knowing when it's fucking happening, and I know when it's happening.
Honestly,
cool.
I enjoy it more.
It's more fun, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
And honestly, it's a cool dynamic that I'm the one who starts it, and you're always the one who doesn't know.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. I think it's like
it's a good giggle at the beginning.
It's a thing that we do now. It's a thing that we do now, folks.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We have a pretty cool, chill show. We have some stuff we're going to talk about. I did not select anything. That's really good of me.
Yeah, you're great.
I know, but I also wanted to hit that thing started. Like, we're fucking late.
Yeah, we are.
And you know what though? I'll be honest. I'm glad we did work out first, because I think like we would have been even later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The workout we would have ended at like probably 6, 7.
Yeah.
Because this, I would have like dicked around a bit more, probably cleaned, did some stupid shit, and then been like, "Hey, you can come over." It'd have been 1 o'clock. Wouldn't have started till 2. Wouldn't have finished till 3:30. Ate some more. It'd have been like 4 or 5. Start the workout. There we go. Yeah. Wow. I really just did the reverse of what we did today, and it would have added time.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. So, did you actually, before you get started, did you want to like bring anything like about the wars and whatever else? Like, so before we got heated up here, which sucks because Tyler and I, we went off. Like we've
already been talking for an hour.
Fuck, it was an hour, dude. We got here like almost just 4. Like, it's 5 now. We've been chatting about the war in
while
Ukraine,
we were eating our Russia, like meals and
and we both we can get into that.
I think we'll start with that.
We'll start with that?
Yeah, we'll start. Okay.
Oh, man, this is so exciting. This is so exciting.
We both now have a guy that does our training and meal plan, and we're not in terrible shape, but we're not where we want to be.
To put the difference in perspective, guys, we have a coach, not a personal trainer.
Yeah.
We know how to work out. Obviously, we have tweaks in here and there. Everyone has form checks. We know how to work out, but we have a guy that's keeping us honest on our workouts, what workouts we do, and our food. So it's just basically like meal planning and whatever else. It's a coach. It's a bodybuilding coach.
It's every week we check in.
Yeah.
He sees our results, sees if our weight's gone down, and adjusts accordingly.
It's not a guy who stands there with you at each workout and goes, okay,
it's all the other stuff.
You need 2 more reps of this or 2 more sets of that. It's not that. It's everything else. You deal with that shit. And I mean, if you want to fudge the numbers in the app, because there's an app, if you want to fudge the numbers and say whatever weight is a lie or whatever reps is a lie, cool, go for it. But now he's going to expect something out of those results because he knows, right?
Yeah. The thing is because he's coached bodybuilding. He's had people like win shows, whatnot.
He's a fucking bodybuilder.
He's a bodybuilder himself.
Still jacked.
You know what? If we say that we haven't cheated on our meals, we've hit all the workouts, and we see no progress, he'll know we're lying.
Yeah, exactly. And in a week, we take a progress pic because he knows what his diet's going to do to us. We're burning like furnaces right now.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, okay, you've lost like 0.3 of a pound, and you look awful.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
So
don't lie. And I mean,
the thing is, if we're accountable, it'll work, and if we're not, it won't.
We're also paying him, so it's only our loss.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he doesn't actually. Okay, in this case, he does care. He does like we're not trying to butter ourselves up, but he does seem to like us.
Yeah.
And we have chats and we have cool conversations about where the gym's progressing and what he does in his life and what we're doing in life. So he's invested in us, but at the end of the day, we're still clients. We're still just a money source.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're definitely like acquainted. We talk.
Yeah. 100%.
We love the guy.
Oh, dude, you don't have this.
I don't.
Yo, we always have to have the pillows separate. Like they have to be one on each.
That's just because
otherwise the balance seems off. And I was sitting here.
Yeah.
There was something off. I sat up and I was like, it's the pillow. Yeah, it's the pillow.
But yeah, so we're taking our own advice and trying to progress our
fucking right
in the fitness. Like I know this is like a lot about business and whatnot, but also personal development, and that's what we're we like to we're trying to live by our own words.
Absolutely. And like this podcast wasn't just about money. It was about us getting better in whatever aspect you fucking want, man. Oh man, you know what sucks is, speaking of kind of personal development, I have been trying to pick up the guitar some more.
Yeah.
And fucking I'm strumming. I was showing Ashley this one song that I used to play for in high school and got like almost a perfect score, and I was like butchering it. Obviously, it's been a while. Popped a string.
No.
I was so upset, and I'm like, okay, restringing guitar. If you do know, you know. If you don't know, it's not that hard. It fucking takes you maybe 10 minutes, and then you tune the bitch, and you just leave the strings there, and then you tune it in a day or two and let it adjust itself because they're, you know,
they work
springing in. Yeah, exactly. I strung it up and then put it aside. Basically.
Yeah.
So it didn't get used enough to like last. They're still like, if you go and look at them, those strings look fresh. But I fucked around and found out, obviously. So I'm gonna go buy some strings, and because I'm gonna buy some strings, they're $10. But because I'm gonna buy strings, I'm gonna be like,
yeah,
okay, let's fucking, because it's a thing that it's not just like, oh, I can play the guitar, but it's actually really good for your mental health. It helps develop new pathways. It helps growth in neural connections and stuff like that. It's really cool. Musical, anything is really good for your brain. So I'd like to like not fucking be the next Steve Vai or anything, but you know, if I could strum a tune, that'd be sick again. You know.
But yeah, no, I
like it.
I have noticed recently we've kind of picked up our
off.
shit. Well, we've more picked up our socks
now. Yes, but for the last, I don't know how long for you, but if I'm being honest with myself, 3-4 months of being a fucking loser. I'm just saying, not you necessarily, but me. In my, okay.
In your opinion, but to your standards.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was about to say everyone to my standards, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but to my standards, dude, like, I've been a slacking piece of shit, and I'm unimpressed with my performance.
But the thing is, you fall to your standards too.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? So you've lowered your standards for yourself, but that also affects like self-esteem, self-worth, like what self-confidence even.
I haven't had this kind of confidence since the start of the program.
You know what I mean? Like, so
absolutely.
So it's one of those things when you start lowering your standards for yourself, it lowers everything.
Yes.
So,
and I'm obviously, because we preach and talk about this often, I know. You know what I mean? I know it.
Well, that's the thing.
That's the worst part, is I know what I'm doing. And then I'm driving myself crazy because I'm like, how did I get out of this before? Or how did I stop this shitty habit before?
It's like in the past when we've talked about smokers, where like they know what they're doing is bad.
Absolutely.
And that's what that's why they try to get other people, and like we've gone on tangents about this.
Oh yeah.
But it's a similar idea. Still, yeah. It eats you more knowing you're doing the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
Because it stays at the back of your head and it just like erodes.
Yep.
So we finally actually taken a note out of our own book.
Yeah. There's still other things I'm still working on, but I think this is going to be like kind of the kick in the ass for everything else to line up to.
See, I'm hoping too, and this kind of goes into like what I sent you.
The coaching, that is.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned, like, we were being vague for a second.
Oh, but is like, because I've had a thing recently where I'm like almost questioned priorities a little bit.
Okay.
You said you stole this right out of my brain when I sent it to you.
It was kind of, I'll be honest, because I was hoping to bring something up like this too. And then you messaged me that, and I was like, I'm just going to let him talk.
Yeah.
Because I'm freaking out. I was like, I think he's literally about to say the same shit I'm thinking.
So I'm just going to read the note, and it's going to be in like, it's going to be in like third person, but whatever. It's the note.
Whatever.
Talk about, are my priorities right? Should I be doing something different? Should I be working so much, putting off the like vacation for financial success and saying that I'll do it later? That's one note. And then and then this is like me talking to myself, because I do that a lot. I've been taking a bit of a relax, and that's exactly how I worded it, a bit of a relax.
That's fine.
Working on working and prioritizing, hanging out with friends, the podcast, which I have been prioritizing over almost anything else.
Which is kind of
then working out, the martial arts I've been taking really serious. I've been reading. But because I'm not working as much, I'm not making as much money.
Same here.
So it's kind of like I'm not seeing the financial, but there's all the other things which
we're also spending a bit more because now
this is also true.
Yeah, right. So it feels even slower because we're spending a bit more and not making as much.
Yeah.
So that gain is even smaller than we used to have.
And then my last note on that would be, should I put like more, and I wrote this like just before I really got into it.
Yeah.
But should I be putting more into like fitness, learning, and relationships versus just the money?
Absolutely.
Because it's one of like the problem I'm at right now is there's
about to
like
get real.
being young as I am is like there right now, realistically in your 20s, and to anyone that's in their 20s watching or in the future if you're 20, is like this is where you build your foundation, your relationships, your body.
This is kind of the moment.
You're like learning, and it's even there's been a few like people that talk, and it's like entrepreneurs where you shouldn't prioritize making money when you're younger.
Super young, yeah.
You should more be building the foundations, like knowing all the things, and not just like building a shitty foundation and just trying to make as much money. And I'm like, and then also like, so that's kind of where I'm teetering, where I'm like, do I go all in, like making money, whatnot, and because you can only prioritize so many things in life. You only have so much bandwidth.
Yeah,
and we talked about it on the last podcast. There's only so much bandwidth. I think we talked about it with people, but it goes for activities as 100%. Well. So, like right now, I've been definitely prioritizing training, both like bodybuilding style, food, and then my martial arts, because that's something I do have a passion for.
Right.
Which it's good for like a lot of different things, mental health, all kinds. Like same as the gym. It's just, and then also like relationships. I've made more time for hanging out with people, especially good friends.
Yes.
Like Jason, I've hung out with a few times in the last like 2 weeks.
Right.
Like outside of the gym.
And I've actually, and like I haven't been as good at it, but I also fear that it's not fear, but I think it's partly because of a new relationship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
but that's also a relationship that you're putting
effort into.
In the Sam Sanook, and I don't know what the guy that runs the podcast name, but it's the Diary of a CEO.
Right.
I don't know his name. African American guy, but he talks about when he was asking Simon, he was saying how he's pushing super hard in his career and like everything, but his relationship gets everything that's left. And he's not putting that.
And what's left is scraps usually.
That's what I mean. He's getting like, she's getting whatever's left. And he knows that he shouldn't be, but then at the same time, like the whole time he was going back and forth, knowing he shouldn't, but then justifying it.
Absolutely.
And Simon Snook is like, why are you trying to justify it? Like, he's like, you know what the problem is.
It's an issue. That's where we got to leave it for now.
And you're trying to justify that, like, well, you have your business, she has hers, and this, and it's like, and then he gave an example, like the Diary of the CEO guy, he gave an example of a friend where they had a great marriage. They were both did the working, it worked out, and then after 13 years, all of a sudden they're like, we don't have a relationship.
Yeah.
He said that and then got into what he was talking about. And then Simon Snook, he's like, oh yeah, you both have your business, it's working, you're working a shit ton. And then in 13 years, you'll realize that all of a sudden you don't have a relationship anymore. And the guy was just like, oh, you threw that back right in my face. He's like, you have the answer. You
have the fucking tools too.
And it's one of those things, you probably get it all the time. I know recently with Jason threw it in my face too, where when you're in it, it's hard. Like, you know what you should be doing, but you second guess yourself, and it does sometimes take someone else being.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And like that, and it was crazy that they were talking about that, because that's similar to like kind of what I'm going through with because he even said like they talked about vacation. He's like, vacation?
What are you talking about?
He's like, what? He's like, yeah, he bought a house in South Africa, but he's like, I was still working every day while I was on vacation, and he's like, take a vacation.
Yeah, like actually fucking.
Like no. He's like, leave your phone in the hotel room. Yeah. Don't check on your employees.
Yeah.
Because that also builds trust with your employees. And they go off on that, which we're not there yet. But eventually that will be a thing where, trusting that your employees can deal with it.
They can do it, man. Like, and that's the thing, right? Like, there'll be times where we're away because we're fucking off and being ourselves.
We're having a vacation.
Yeah. And they're gonna have to deal with our next in line,
Yeah.
and that next in line is gonna have the nuts to be like, I'm making the call.
Yeah. But then that also, they'll work so much harder to make sure they don't fail when you're not around.
That's it. And then I trust them, and then Christmas time shows up, I give them fucking a giant bonus. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you fucking rocked it this year.
And it's one of those things, though, if they know they can just like message you if they have a problem, they're not going to do it themselves.
Yeah.
In the employee
and
aspect.
then I fucking start thinking about, hey, in 10 years when I'm done with this shit, you interested in,
Yeah.
you want this?
That's
'Cause that's the kind of guy I want. The guy that's going to be trustworthy, that can handle the shit. And
that can do
proves
the
to
critical
me,
thinking.
right? And then I also, like, not even just to keep the same vision. It is a lot to ask a person to be like, you need to take my vision and continue it.
But if you can find someone that's somewhat aligned. And
Yeah, like, exactly. I'm not saying you need to be 100%, but if you can, like, keep the same ideals I'm trying to maintain, man, like, I'm considering you for, like, the sale, you know?
Yeah.
I'll hand the reins over to you. Like, it'll be all yours.
Or, you make them CEO when you step away completely.
Kind of what I meant.
Or however it works.
Sale,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the first thing I said, like the priorities, that's one
It's been rough.
I've been struggling pretty hard with.
Honestly, it's been something that I've been thinking about almost every day for the past month.
Yeah, I'd say
almost every day. I'm not trying to be like,
since I got back from Cuba.
Okay, so give or take, we're in the same kind of ballpark.
Yeah,
here, which
it
is
would be a
trippy.
month.
It's really strange.
Because
like I'll sit there and be like, am I spending my time wisely right now? And I know the answer, just like that guy does.
Mm-hmm.
Not all wisely.
Like,
not all really well. And just to like kind of again circle back to the coaching. Yesterday, for example, the day between my day shifts. The day between my second day and my first night, right? Usually I'll just work out my bad. Take that all back. The day after my first night shift, before my second night shift, that section of time, that's my bad. I don't ever work out usually. I don't do much. I go and do my laundry and I chill. Mm-hmm. And if I have to meal prep, I'll meal prep, sure. Like before this. Mm-hmm. Holy shit, dude. Yesterday, I had to fucking get up. This is after the call that we had. I had to get up. I went and dropped off my laundry, went up, grabbed something I needed for work, ran back, swapped my laundry, ran up, grabbed the chicken I needed because I ran out of chicken. Like I had like maybe 100 grams left, which is not, obviously, it's not enough. So I bought a bunch of chicken and ran back, grabbed the laundry because I was like a minute late. There was a train. I was losing my mind yesterday. So then I fucking ran home, cooked a bunch of shit. Like I'm talking, I had an operation going. You would know how it looks. You have a fucking operation going. Everything's timed perfectly. And at some points I was like, okay, I just have to wait. So I'd like watch part of an episode and I'm like, this is weird. Usually before when I'd have to meal prep, it was like always I have to be on top of it. Mm-hmm. Now it's fucking kind of easy.
No, it did make it a lot easier.
But it spent a lot of time. Next thing you know, it's 4:00.
Yeah.
Usually I would have been done by 2:30. And then I have an hour and a half where I can just jerk off and do fucking, I don't literally mean that, it's a joke, guys, but jerk off and sit there and do nothing and pet the cat, which is, I do, obviously I'm not complaining, I'm just saying like, be almost kind of useless, right?
Yeah.
But I filled the whole afternoon up. Like I spent 45 minutes in the morning chilling and then spent the whole afternoon up, went to work, hammered it out, and then I got up and I'm still hammering it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of,
it's helped productivity.
Thanks to the
it's helped no. I'm definitely not against the coaching has helped quite a bit. Like I've been way more energy. There's zero regrets.
And what I'm hoping is this will lead to me being like, okay, fixing these priorities will now be easy.
It might be
I have
a domino
the energy. I have the physical energy.
Hopefully it turns into like a domino effect.
Like I actually, the way that we're thinking right now, I probably would be fucking so pooch talking about this shit right now. But there's something about this diet, man. Like I know we're sounding like either broken records or obvious, osmos, but
yeah,
like it's crazy what actually eating the right fucking macros, the right nutrients, the right sups, and then you're just like magically sleep like a baby, magically wake up in sharp fucking mode where you're like, I fucking okay, next thing I gotta do. It's so cool.
Yeah, like I don't have, like my problem isn't that I have dead time where I'm like I should be doing something. It's more priorities have slightly changed and what I'm doing has slightly changed, and the not being as focused on making money has stressed me out.
Okay, so
And
that's kind of what I meant. I'm not saying that, I just use that as an example, but I'm saying it's going to feel like all the empty time that I did have, like it's not a lot of it, but anything that I just did have scraps lying around, there'll always be something else that I can actually do to progress myself, as well as should be easier to have free time to work more, make more money, and relieve that stress that because I'm stressing because I feel like I'm spending more than I'm making, which isn't true necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's kind of freaking me out because then I look at it and the gains are slow.
Freaking me out is the understatement of the century.
I know. For you, it's like a dramatic fucking existential crisis. But for me, it's like, it is a bit of a panicky thing because I was like, I'm not going to fucking slip into this stupid slope.
For some reason, I stress about money more than most people, and I have no fucking idea why.
You also, what's wild is you don't have as much reason as most people to stress.
I have almost none. No. Like even actually, I think one of my notes.
Stresses you have for money is not the same though. It's a totally different breed of stress. For money, that is, because financial stress is something that
my
entire planet deals with, but everybody has a different flavor. Whether it's I'm a broke bitch or I'm too rich and what am I doing kind of thing, and then anything in between.
Actually, because I was just watching a video, and this will just like kind of understand how like when I say I'm stressing about money, it's not because I don't have enough; it's because I'm not making enough.
No, I understand.
That's my difference. Yeah,
that's what I said. What I said.
In the video I was watching, they like right now in the world, you hear a lot of people like struggling for like the first time ever, not paying like their mortgages, not being able to this. And I'm like, okay, I've never experienced any of that. I will be completely honest. Like whenever people like their normal money struggles, I have never had or been around really. So like those
which is just a fact at the end of the day.
Not
I've been teaching you about like empathy though.
Yeah, no, that's not like I'm high and mighty whatnot.
No, I understand.
But I've just never experienced it. It's
just a fact.
And every once in a while I'll see a video and see like how they explain things. I'm just like,
oh my god, yeah.
I am a little bit out of touch.
A little, but you admitting it though is a big like in the right direction. Most guys, let's say, even in the similar position as you, would be like, care.
Yeah, what do you mean you can't pay your bills?
Yeah, fuck off. Like, don't.
Well, also
make more.
I would also say like definitely now having more bills and responsibility has made a difference because now I'm like, holy fuck, I gotta
right. And it's like, what if?
And it's not like, and it's not as in like the bills eat into anything. It's just like, okay, now I actually have to pay them and like kind of be on top of it.
You're more diligent. You're less willy-nilly here.
And also investing more.
Yeah.
Okay. What like that's another thing is I did increase. So the amount of money I make is because I'm not doing overtime and like as much stuff has lowered slightly, but also now my bank account stays basically the same because I invest every other dollar.
Yes.
And that because like I'm like, oh wow,
there's almost like no bonus cash now.
There's no play money.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but that's why the priority thing is I'm like,
is that now the right thing?
And that because I have been focusing on the financial success so much.
I already have an idea of what the actual true answer is. And the true answer is quite vague.
And because like the pushing off the vacation, which I am currently doing.
Which one?
Just in general,
Montreal?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I'm probably not gonna.
Thank you.
Just because
I was gonna bring it up.
And eventually. Not even like sure I can afford it, but then it's also
it's not that. I could have done it too. I could have,
but I'm like,
but did you wanna? Did you really?
Yes and no.
I didn't really want to spend the money.
It would be a fun experience. Yeah. That's where I'm having a really hard time dissociating actually having vacation and experiences versus just pushing the financial envelope. Because like my whole thing is it's like because I've been investing so much more, so I don't have as much liquid cash at all. Which is, I think I brought it up when I went for coffee with, and I'm like, don't have the. I was like explaining some stuff and she kind of looked at me and I'm like, no, it's because of this. It's not that I don't have as much money. It's it's allocated completely differently. So
not spendable cash. I'm not
like go back 2 months, I was way more flexible.
For sure.
I'm pretty rigid. Like,
Yep.
as much as I make and whatnot, I'm not tight, but
I'm
there's
saving like these trips because I do have the 2 concerts I already signed up for at the end of the year. And then I'm going to change my vacation to match up similarly to yours.
Yeah.
We can make a decision about that later.
Yeah, I think my dad wants to come, but it's going to be a cheap trip.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's my point though, is
Yeah,
like we can, if we decide to like fucking go to like Grand Rapids and, you know, sling our dicks around, like that's cool.
It'll probably end up being like a Cuba type.
But my point
Yeah.
being is I know it's not going to be crazy. All it is I'm going to have it lined up. And if it ends up being nothing, so be it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say is like, so be it. But then we get to hang out for a fucking week and a half.
Exactly.
That'll
It'll be fun
You know,
no matter
we'll
what.
record 17 pods. Fuck. Honestly, it'd be a sick time to like actually crank out 5 or 6.
We should.
And then we just post them all.
Yeah.
And then we could have like a relax for a bit.
I know.
And I'm not complaining, okay, guys? Like, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm not complaining
no.
about recording the pod at all. Like, I love this shit. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes, like, even right now, it's getting a little late.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that I don't want to
It's
continue
just,
this.
there's more stuff that has
There's
to happen.
other stuff that in real life kind of has to take
Yeah.
a little bit more priority.
See, this has been definitely not like a keep me up at night thing.
No, but it's like
Back of mind.
extra thoughts. Like,
Back of mind the whole time.
yeah, you're thinking about it more often than you don't.
Well, because now it's like, oh, I would like to buy that. And before I could justify it, but now I could justify it, but the money's not really there.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking about that. I was thinking about dash cam, and I'm like really considering just buying like kind of a cheapo one and dealing with it because it's better than not. Because I'm worried about that. That's kind of an investment thing. But then it's like I was thinking about the bike rack. I was thinking about this.
I want to get a new Kindle, but
Is
then
that worth it?
But then
Like, it still works, right?
I just want a nicer one for home and travel.
I understand. But isn't that like basically the definition of bougie, right?
Yeah. And then I had to go get the battery for my car.
Right. And I had to buy that fucking piece of shit. So like the new AC unit because
Things take priority, unfortunately. And like as financially well as we are.
Yes, it's like I'm not retarded with it though.
Yeah.
That's the difference here too.
And
yeah, I could go and do it. I could go and buy like the sunshade, the this, the that, the whatever right now if I want to. But then I'm like feeling so behind and I'm going to feel like shit about it. And I'm going to feel like, okay, now I'm just going to slave. And then that's not healthy either.
Is where I almost want your opinion in a way is...
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is this the one you were mentioning about yesterday?
Yeah. Like, because there's also that argument where you should almost get the stuff for yourself as well. So that's where I have the hardest time is it's like, should I just be pushing hard and do the like online guru fucking grind, do your thing, make the money and kind of like live like shit, or not entirely?
Personally, I think the healthy version is a majority grind with a lesser split of fun. So like personally, I think 70-30. 70 work, 30 fun. And by fun, I don't necessarily mean fun. I mean
like leisure or like
anything else. So think about that because 30%'s not that much. I'm thinking trips. I'm thinking additional, let's say crossings of the bridge to go and do whatever, to go and shopping,
go play mini putt,
go hit Toronto, a girlfriend, anything extra like that. That's part of that 30%. So in my opinion, health-wise, mental health-wise too, I do want to live a good life. I don't mean good even just, I mean lengthy as well.
Yeah.
So I think a 70-30 is healthy because 30 will keep you fucking trucking along for a long ass
when
time.
you're in your grind period. And then obviously once you've made it,
fucking
like
60-40 then the other way around.
Guy Scott Galloway, he's talked out quite a bit because I think he's worth his number. He said was like he's been rich and lost it all twice, and now he's rich again.
Wow.
Which he's like, I've made a lot of mistakes, and he's wrote books about it.
Sick though. That's how it should be done.
But now he said like he hit his number, and now everything above that number he spends or gives away. His number's 100 million. But he made that, and he's like, everything else gets spent, which is nuts. Because he figured it out off the interest. He could live his ideal life. Ideal. Off the interest and never have to worry.
You said 100 million, right?
Yeah. So after tax, like 3-4 million a year. That's his pinnacle. Also a really good podcast that he was on.
Good for him.
Like,
I'm not saying it's not attainable. That's not what I'm reacting. But it's like, it's wild to hear someone's goal, someone's end result.
That's
why my mind's blown. I'm like, he has found peace.
Because you want to know another thing that I find.
I'm almost envious of there.
I don't know if I wrote it down or where I seen it.
But it's not worth it if I just own it. I have to get it.
Is like the thing, because he even said he's like, when he was younger, he thought like $1 million and then 10, and it's really hard to not push that goalpost.
I understand.
And for him
I can see it.
For him to have that 100 million and be like, yep.
You know, the day that start seeing $1 million, or $3 million.
It's hard to not, like Hormozy, he just keeps pushing the goalpost.
Be like, dude, 10 was pretty easy.
Yeah. And it's exponential.
And the first 100K is the hardest.
There's there's a statistic.
Is it the first million that's the hardest, right?
The first 100, if you break it down by $1 million, it takes like on average 7 to 8 years to get your first 100K, and then from I think it's like 900 to $1 million is like usually like less than a year. Like it's exponential, like ridiculous.
Yes. If you do everything within like I'd say 80% margin of error.
Yeah, like I think like 500 to $1 million takes the same as to get the first 100K.
Yeah. Like and the 20% is like if you fuck up with only 20% there, like that's pretty good. Like you're gonna make it still.
And then actually,
plus or minus a few years.
Another good thing Scott Galloway said that I liked is you have to be all in to make your money. You do.
Well, of course.
But he said now once you kind of get your number, then it's diversified time. And that's how he lost it the first time is he didn't diversify.
Right.
And it was all in his one company. No. He doubled down, tripled down.
Oh no. And then when it went wrong, it went wrong.
I think it was in the 2008.
Oh shit, son.
But he said he doesn't put more than 3% of his net worth in anything.
Yeah, good call.
But
after that mistake, he was like, fuck that shit.
Because now, like, if say he invests $1 million, $2 million in something and it goes completely bust, it doesn't really affect
your
him.
hat or something? I just want to make sure it's not like a liquid.
My wallet.
Okay.
And then
that's wild.
On the goal thing,
he learned obviously. Oh my god!
Because I think it was the first time he lost like
doubled or tripled.
He went from a net worth of 12 million to -2. When it was in the same like couple weeks that he had his first son.
That's a way to lose a fucking wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I definitely do have a number to where I'd be like
chilling.
Yeah, it's probably around that, to be honest.
100 million? If I'm being real, it's
be completely honest, not like, oh yeah. It could be 10, whatever
honest,
you say.
It's like probably halfway of that.
Yeah.
It's like about 50, I think. I'd be like, brah.
Fair enough. Everyone has a number,
dude. And it's like, I'm just thinking about it logically. Like, I think I could still be in a fucking private jet every other fucking week if I wanted to, really.
Worst case, I'm worth the 100 million, you ride in mine.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like,
I just know that I'm definitely, that for me that just wouldn't feel enough. I don't know why, but I'm not there, so I don't know. I could get to 20 and be like, I can live this life.
Oh, yo, this ain't. Yeah, what was I joking about?
Yeah,
I don't need 100.
But
we don't know that yet.
But I think like hard stop would probably be around that. Like where even if I was
logically, it's like, what am I now? Now it's almost just greed. Now it's like it's not even almost. It is just greed.
But okay, and then
what happens to most companies?
Here's my counterpoint to this, which I do think about quite a bit. Is okay if I push farther, then that would be more money for kids, grandkids, great grandkids.
I understand.
And like set it up in like a trust fund, like how the Rothschilds, or not Rothschilds, I meant Rockefellers.
Went hard there. Yeah.
Rockefellers, Vanderbilts. Actually, the Vanderbilt money just ran out recently. This is the first generation where there's no trust fund.
What would they do?
He's still a Vanderbilt.
Okay.
He's well off, and actually says he's one of the happiest people in his family because he didn't have it, which is wild.
Interesting.
But the Vanderbilts, it's like they've been like trust funded for like 186 years, which is nuts.
That is insane.
Because if you think America, it's like Vanderbilt, the Rockefellers, the Clintons, Bush, like those are all families that have been influential for like over 100 years.
Yeah, of course.
There is always that part of me where it's like, hey, if I do make more money, it would help. But there's also then it's like, okay, but they also have to do it themselves, and it becomes this whole.
What's his name? I fucking forget the actor's name, but he basically said his kids are not getting fucking nothing.
I'm torn.
And he's like super well off. Like I'm talking, I forget the actor's name. It's
probably a few $100 million.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy as the one guy that had the fucking big room full of fucking artifacts and people and whatever else that.
Like who played Odin?
No. Like not the trickster. Fuck.
I know who you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the actor. But yeah,
that actor. Yeah. Goldblum. Gary? No. Goldblum though.
Okay. But
yeah. He said he was like, kids can go fuck themselves. He was like, good luck.
I think even there's even been billionaires that.
And then
like
I read the comments though, and people were torn.
Yeah. No.
Half the people were like, good. Those kids will learn some respect, and the other people were like, then what's the fucking point?
Like I'm almost torn to where it be like, say you have everything paid, say like everything is paid for up until a certain age, and then it's like either you're making something and
you made it happen or you didn't,
or it's like, you know, say when you turn 18 there's a fund for you to say go to school and then maybe money to start your business, but like that's it, like have a cutoff, but make sure that it can be for generations.
Absolutely.
That's where I am torn, and I know this will sound so far out for some people that are like, what, but that is where my mind is at.
100%. It's definitely a tough call, man. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. It's like almost like, what are your values?
Yeah.
You kind of look inwards, look at your morals almost. It's a bigger dilemma than people realize.
Yeah. And it's only,
especially if those goals are lofty and you plan on attaining them, and we have no reason not to be attaining them.
And like for most people, the thought of having trust funds and stuff is so far out, and that's fine.
Yeah. I wouldn't even see, and then other issues like, what am I going to do with my money if I truly stick to my, and don't have kids?
I don't know. Give it to me.
Fucking, what do I do with that shit? I could just donate it to everybody.
I wouldn't donate it to a charity. I would start your own foundation and hire a board.
Give everyone $1.
I would
be the weirdest guy ever.
No, you want to know? In all realness, is what I would. Part of my money would go towards would be stuff in Canada.
No, absolutely. And you know what I would do? Like
a foundation, and it's like
explained. Yes, that's honestly thinking about it realistically. I've just started a foundation.
Like I would
do my own thing and have my own situation where people are helped often through like housing and whatnot. I'm gonna fuck you up, Kat.
I would have definitely like say a family office which just manages my investments. And it would be like a certain percent goes to obviously my family and like say trust funds that are set up for my kids or whatnot. But then I would probably put a percentage of how much the fund is making to say helping people like in Canada. Because you see so many where it's like, oh yeah, built a hospital in Uganda, and it's like, hey, but there's not hospitals here.
Yeah. There's not hospitals here. There's not housing here. There's fucking homeless here. There's a slew of things that I can name off the top of my head. I can look out my goddamn window, dude, and tell you there's problems.
And then there's also the whole thing where it's like, hey, if I have this ability to make money, make a change, do I keep... There becomes so many dilemmas when you get to the extremes.
Yeah.
Which, when people criticize the ultra-rich for not doing certain things, it's like, you got to think what is going on in their lives. Like, it's not that easy.
And like obviously I wouldn't be trying to save the world.
No.
Like, realistically,
if I could make a difference in our city.
There's another thing that I just read recently, and there's this Russian or fucking, and obviously take a grain of salt, right? This is not fucking most accurate bullshit ever, but she said, or he said, I forget who it was, essentially that these people ran a simulation on the existence of humans in the next however many millions of years, and it's like a 0.01% chance that we even make it.
Oh, 100%.
because and like the majority of the reasons from the simulation stated that it was because we just couldn't fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
We couldn't cohesively figure it the fuck out. You know, the whole borderless bullshit. Unfortunately, it seems like that's kind of the way things would have to go if we plan as a human race. I'm not saying fucking corporations. I'm not saying money or business. I'm saying just as a human race, if we want to exist in forever, we essentially have to remove borders and have to be like, everyone needs to be chill. And that'll never happen.
Like a world economy and
which is why it's 0.01% chance essentially that this exists ever.
I feel like if that happened with our current society, the divide would only get bigger.
Oh my god! Like there would be one half that goes, "Yes, this is the way to do it."
Well, no,
the other half would be like, "Don't take our guns." And I'm just making fun of Americans, but
even so, you think of like a Vanderbilt as been in like an American superpower for how long?
Sure.
That's just in America. Now think there would be families like that, but global. The powerful families would only become, say, more powerful.
More absolutely.
And that's if it stays the way it is.
Funding all this shit, anyways. You know what I mean? Like who else would do all that? Well, even have to come from somewhere.
They interviewed. It was like all these like super rich families.
Sure.
And they talked about, because a lot of those families give billions of dollars to stuff that the government won't fund.
Yes.
And they were like, that's our duty. Like, we have this much money and we can. And that was before they even got tax breaks. Because now you get a tax break if you're donating and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
But that was even before it was beneficial.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's good on them.
And that is one thing, once you do become super wealthy, that you should do, is even if it's to no detriment to yourself.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying, say you're a billionaire and you give away 100 million. Give away $1 million. It's nothing to you, but
exactly. Like, and that's what people then start freaking out about. They're like, oh, he's like Jeff. For example, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, $200 billion.
You know, he donates like, I don't know, $10 million, which to him is nothing. Realistically a drop.
Yeah,
it's like it's me pulling out a $5.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Like realistically,
I have something perfect to say to this.
Honestly, probably even worse than that.
Yeah.
And then people go, "Oh, well, he's fucking way richer than that." It's like, really? Is it your money? Do you get a say in that?
I actually seen a thing where they talked about that.
Yeah.
How people will criticize up always.
Sure, of course.
And then it's like, well, how much do you donate to charity?
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just use Africa. Someone in Africa would be like, well, you make $100,000 a year. Well, why aren't you donating?
Do the math, and let's say, I don't necessarily mean you have to, but let's say he did donate the 10 million. I don't know how much is Jeff Bezos.
Let's just say he did 1%.
Okay.
So in his life, say he donated $200 billion. So it'd be $2 billion.
Okay.
Tons of money, not comparable to his wealth.
Yes, but let's say you have $100,000 and you do 1%. What's 1%?
$1,000.
You gonna do it?
And that was the whole point of it.
Exactly.
And then people were like, oh, well, you know, like, I can't really afford. And it's like, well,
because like $1,000 is not meaningless necessarily.
Yeah, but it's enough.
And it could help a lot of people. And it's more than 3 times it's like $3 a day almost.
Yeah.
For, let's say you're doing the sponsorship or whatever. That is more than plenty to get a kid through like a year or two of fucking survival.
Yeah.
And probably even a little bit better than survival. Are you going to do it?
And that's like...
Not likely. But that guy just spent that $1,000 and you're ripping him apart.
Yeah. And
by 1,000, I mean his 10 mil or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're ripping him apart.
And it's like, but you're hypocritical.
So hypocritical.
And
that's why I don't shit on people who do charities, but I do wish people who did donate would do more research.
Yes.
Because, like,
that's why I said start your own foundation.
Don't donate through Walmart.
Yeah.
Don't donate through Walmart. Like, as one example. This is one example. And I'm confident most companies do this shit. They basically use that money to fund the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then they give, like, I think it's like 5 or 10% of that to the actual charity. Okay, but if you just contacted that charity directly, you could probably give in your whole $5 to them.
And that's why, like,
and they don't care. You can probably credit card over the phone if you want to.
And that's why when I said, like, say you were going to give your money away, is start your own foundation and then do it to the things that you want
Yes.
and know, like, obviously some say every year you give away $10 million.
Sure.
Sure, $1 million will probably go towards the like running the charity.
Sure.
But still 90%.
Yeah.
Whereas, some
Where
other
you have like this fund internally that like helps build its own wealth.
Yeah.
And that's all essentially it is. And
or maybe you have it.
The interest per year is so great that they go, okay, we're going to spend this on that.
Yeah, or maybe you have it where, say you put your whole fortune into a family office, which is just a personal investment group.
Sure.
They invest it, they deal with all that and grow it, and then say all the excess past whatever gets donated.
Goes into yes, exactly. I probably would want to do something like that.
I actually, from reading the How to Invest book, because they talk about family offices, and I'm like, I think that's how I would.
I was about to say, that's realistically how I'd want to do it. Realistically.
But also, like, if you don't know that that's a thing that can happen, that.
Yeah, I know it's the information, but it's also like.
Because that's not commonly known.
I was going to say, but it's also like, how common is it for everyone to be fucking loaded to the teeth to be able to need that?
Exactly. How many, you know what I mean? How many people are realistically, how many families have that much money?
They don't need to know that. So then you'll never know. It's fucking kind of sad, really.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And where I plan on getting to that, so I want to know the information.
Sure.
And that's like where I'm torn, where it's like, should I be in a stage of like just learning, or try to like push the envelope? And
I think personally, and you said you did want my opinion. I think the balance is heavier work, but still include a good amount of the other random shit.
Where would you say I'm at currently? I feel like I'm pretty 70-30, no? Maybe 80-20?
Like what, 80 work?
Yeah.
Right now, you think so?
But I put work as like learning and like.
Okay. There was a transition period that I think you were more 80-20.
I would say before the trip I was. Maybe now I'm a little less.
I think it was way before the trip. When you really started doing the learning shit, but you were still working overtime, right in that pocket is when you were 80-20. But then you started less overtime, and I'm not critiquing. I've not done fucking any overtime.
Yeah.
Okay? So then you start slipping towards where you did less overtime, but still learned, and then more.
Yeah.
And then we really ramped up like business more type stuff.
Yeah.
And then OT really dropped off.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't want to say that you're not 80-20, but it feels
it's probably less maybe right now.
You also have more fun doing some of the other shit like the learning and stuff like that, right? So for you, unlike most people, and I'm not saying even necessarily me, because I'm in between. Like I'm interested, but you're obviously way more passionate about like real estate.
I have passions,
right?
And I'm very aggressive about them.
And you research a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be more the category of fun.
Okay, maybe.
In your case.
Maybe. You might, yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking maybe more like even.
But that still is.
35-65, but 70-30.
My argument would be still the like constant learning of stuff is only to make money.
Absolutely.
So
what I'm trying to say is you probably have a healthy balance right now.
I agree. I think right now I'm pretty balanced because I'm not overworked, I'm not overstressed, and I'm itching because it feels like I'm doing nothing.
You're hanging out tonight with someone.
Yeah.
You're doing stuff.
Is it? You want to know how fucked up it is? When I'm arguably like I still work more than the average person, and I feel unbalanced as in I'm not working enough.
I get it.
And I'm just like,
I do. I feel the same way, and I do kind of need another. I need to start. I don't. I feel like I'm doing more like 40-60. So I'm a little bit more lax than you right now, and it is bugging me. Which is why when you brought that up, it was like, fuck.
And I also just
ripping
feel like I'm standing still.
Yes, but you're not.
I am like not to.
I was ripping on myself the other day,
and like not to be like high and mighty, but like if you and I don't like comparing because it's not proper.
It's not accurate. It's not whatever. Yeah.
But and also my situation.
Let's just say it's statistically.
But okay, that's what I'm going to get to, and I'm going to preface because like obviously I've had different opportunities in life and whatnot. I will preface that I've come from the advantage, but if you compare You can compare anything to a 20-year-old. You compare net worth, income, anything beyond top 1%. And I still am like,
not good enough.
And I don't understand. Like,
and what sucks is like I'm almost honestly in the same fucking boat, because like even looking at the groups of 30-year-olds that I know,
yeah,
they all are just doing the same thing. They all pumped out a child.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just living the white picket fence life, and that I'm not saying that's bad or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking doing twice as much shit. I see them doing fucking fun stuff often, and it's not highlight reels. It's just like live. Like, this is what I'm doing right now: boating around, fucking around, fishing, hanging out with the fam on the 4-wheelers, and doing whatever. And I'm not calling anyone out specifically. That's not what I'm trying to say.
No.
But point being is, they're kind of dicking around, in my opinion, and I feel like I'm still not doing enough.
Yeah, no, that
I'm not excelling. And then somebody from the outside in is like,
yeah,
could you like stop thinking about that for 10 minutes? Like, we're doing this thing.
And I'm just worried that mindset will kick the can down the road so far that when I am, that it's like, I'll be say 40 and I'll have my 100 million or whatnot, but I didn't really go on a vacation, didn't
no kids, or
didn't get or failed marriage,
sure.
Whatever.
Any of the list. We all know the tropes. It's all the same shit. Yes.
So that's, and even like right now, like
kid that hates you because they think mom was right. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know them all. Like
whatever the tropes are, and even I don't buy into the enjoy your 20s at all.
Just how about enjoy just life, being alive? I don't know.
Like I do like the idea of Tim Ferriss's. He'll grind for like 6 months and then go take a 3-month vacation.
I honestly didn't even like, if I'm being real with you, like my 20s were cool, but half of them were still just like torment. Like I was struggling with shit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even that exciting to me. Like I ground through other stuff, not necessarily just financially. Like I had to deal with my own shit. And I did. And now like I say, now it's going to be like, this is my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my
took time to get to here. Fucking everyone has a different timeline.
The only and you can't compare other people's timelines, and that's just the thief of joy.
You'll fuck yourself right out.
Like
I used to be that guy.
When
so I know.
Like who I said at the gym that doesn't like me?
Yeah.
That's the only reason is because he's comparing.
I'm with you because, and what's not helping, do you remember how earlier today you were talking about how, like, let's say you planned on doing 20 minutes of cardio and 15 minutes, I'm cutting it short. He's kind of doing that with picking all the different things that he's doing.
He's doing that with everything in life.
Fucking bodybuilding, fucking whatever. I don't even know the whole list. It's too long. So because he's doing that so often, he's lost so much confidence, and now he sees somebody like you who has a ton of confidence, who is staying his lane.
There are a lot of people that think I am an arrogant piece of shit.
Oh my god, like there's people who come up to me and they're like, oh, that guy's kind of, and I'm like, no, he's not. And every time I defend him,
yeah, you better be.
Well, obviously, but I'm just like, you don't know him. I was like, you don't know who he is. I was like, yeah, he's a bit harsh, but like, if I'm also kind of that way, so it's like harsh in different ways.
Yeah.
But point being, I was like, you don't know him. I was like, he's not that kind of guy, man. Like, he has his lane and he's staying to it. He doesn't see you. I was like, that's what you don't understand.
I definitely.
I was like, he's not looking at you being like,
I don't care what you're doing.
Who fucking cares?
Oh,
you like your life? I'm happy for you.
That's a lot of people think that people are thinking about them and they're really not. Everyone's focused on themselves.
And I'll be honest with you, the last 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4 years, that's something that I've had to unwire in myself. Because there's a lot of things like, fuck, this podcast would have never happened. Because I would have like always been like, oh, what are people thinking about me?
I would say there was a little bit of that at the beginning.
Yes, but the way that we felt was a little bit natural. You know what I mean? But I'm talking excessive, man.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, I'd be like, oh, people will be looking at me. People will be thinking about me. Or, oh, if I dress this way, I'll be like, whatever. Or I'd always be thinking that way. And then one day I kind of just went, who the fuck cares, dude? Like, what does it matter?
Yeah,
other people's thoughts don't need to affect you, honestly, at all. It's you who lets them.
Yeah. No. If you let someone else, you give them the power.
That's it. Other inside your head.
I'm glad. Well, it also might be because no matter what I do for most of the time, I just get criticized.
Yeah.
So I think I'm kind of numb to it, where...
Sure. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I got criticized too. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I did that people were like, what the fuck? Like,
you can either let it eat you or you can just...
I didn't see, and that's what's weird, is some of the things that I would do like that I would get criticized for never bothered me. It was things that I'd project that would bother me.
Okay.
So things that would literally never happen... Things that like I would imagine somebody would say or whatever would never happen, and then I'm like,
oh, I've had that issue.
oh, I'm fucking retarded.
No, and
redacted, whatever.
Recently, I do get the arrogant or whatever comment more and more.
Yeah, somebody said that, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're gonna have to tell me after.
Fucking, I'll be honest, I forget.
Damn.
I don't remember who.
But mainly because now I'm just more open about who I am, and kind of just like.
Yeah,
this is what's going on.
I think I helped with that.
Oh, 100%. I'll give you 75% of credit. I was gonna say 80, but nah, 75.
Gotta be you, man.
But I've definitely been more open and like
100%.
People that want to talk about it, I'll talk.
I can also tell your personality's changed since I met you.
I always
for the better.
And I always preface. I'm like, this is all. Like when I talk about the finance, I'm like, this is all I do because
it's not a sham.
I have very few lanes, and I just really the only thing I do is work, fitness, and the finance, and like
absolutely
it's either money or working out.
Yeah,
I have two lanes.
If I have a few lanes,
and I'm trying more for the relationship.
And like here's the thing. Okay, I have multiple lanes, but I think also it's years, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's partially years, but I would say my lanes, they're not all as wide as each other, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously. So like my workout lane's fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
My work lane is probably almost equal.
Yeah.
If not bigger. Let's be honest, because we can't work out 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
So workout is like, let's say 30 or whatever. Work is 50. And then you've got like another 10 or something for, I don't know. Yes. 15, 20% for relationships. I think I'm at 100 now.
And that's where I kind of.
Then you can leave for like 5 or 10%, where it's like, hey, what do you want to like have a little bit more fun on that you can dedicate some serious time to, but you know that you're not going to be, like I said with the guitar, you're not going to be Steve Vai, but you want to get better.
Yeah.
You just want to make a little progress. It's one of those little confidence boosters that is just more for fun. So that's another one that I want to reintroduce is the lane of like music.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to get back more into that. Stop watching so much shit. Stop fucking going on that stuff so much.
Yeah, and it's good that you said
girlfriend lane.
That I'm definitely a little bit more balanced, because for a while there it was probably like 45 working out, work, maybe even 55 35.
Yeah.
And there was 10% for everything.
I know. Yeah, no, you definitely were super imbalanced, dude. You're way healthier now, man. Like you really are. You really
thank
are.
you.
Most definitely. I think we both improved drastically.
And then I'm just still in the like the allocating, like what should I be.
And I this might be wisdom, this might just be out of my ass, but I think that's forever.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
I think that's just forever. I think we just have to constantly make adjustments. And I'll be honest with you, my ADHD brain doesn't like that.
Yeah.
I really like having solid lanes.
Yeah.
Which is why once that fucking workout lane was built like 12 years ago, it felt good. And I could groove that bitch deep. And I did. You know what I mean? So that felt comfortable. But when stuff has to like adjust, or maybe, you know, even my lifts, or I hurt my leg or something. Now I can't do legs. Or I hurt my lower back, can't do back, or whatever the fuck. Now that gets adjusted, you feel that like trauma almost of like, I have to make a change in my, like, this is my deepest, most serious lane, and I can't do the same.
Well, it's because it becomes a part of your identity, and then you can't do it, and then
which can also be detrimental.
Well, that's why people with low self-confidence usually only have like one thing. It's like he's known for being rich. Whereas if you have multiple things, it's like, say you lose your money, you're still, say, confident and good looking, and you work out and you have the good family. So
you have a bunch of things going for us. That's
you need
not
multiple
like,
pillars.
I was about to say, it's not you get one knocked down and the whole building comes down, right?
You need multiple pillars. Have you seen similar topic where it's you need to have a balanced, or more like not even so much like balanced life, but like where you feel good, is you need something that keeps you in shape.
Sure.
You need something financially to make you money or like to progress,
as one does, yeah.
and a creative outlet are like the three big things you need for a successful life.
And our major creative outlet is fitness.
Oh, I would say creative would be this.
Yes.
When he says creative, he means writing, art. Yours would be music.
Okay, I agree with that. But I would also say that for me, a lot of it was the aesthetics of bodybuilding.
Okay,
so that would be almost kind of.
You could even argue with the business, our creative outlook on how we do that. I'm saying the main pillars. This would probably be one of the main ones. It's creating content. Creation.
I'm not denying it. I really felt like
teaching could be your creative.
Yeah, that's fair. I just always found that like for me, the gym was like, just like me chiseling away at the marble, I guess.
And I mean, same as like, I definitely, the gym, yes, I notice it more with the martial arts because it's an art form almost.
Not almost, it is an art form. But I'd say bodybuilding is more like of a modern, what I mean? More modern of one. But I agree with you. Excuse me.
And,
but my point being is, for you, that feeling of that with martial arts is me with the feeling of bodybuilding. That's why I've stuck with it for so fucking long.
I seen that and I was like, because most people ends up becoming like work and maybe a little bit of like fitness. Oh, and the other one is learning.
Yeah, right.
There was 4. The other one is learning, constantly like knowledge
of some kind, man. Yeah,
and like this, we learn things all the time with the podcast.
Fuck, we learn things about each other as we
reading,
talk.
Fitness. We learn tons.
Everything.
My dad's calling me. Nice.
Okay, well,
I think this is
if you want to answer, I'll fucking wrap this up.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. Tyler has a little bit of business to attend here. This is really cool outro because I'm now taking over. He's trying to listen to what I'm saying, but it's pretty fun. Oh, ho, ho, as Dad says. Yeah, we're a couple of Goombas. Is that what he's saying? Okay, guys, thanks for listening. We went off on one today. It was fun.
Busy today.
Listen, if you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, comment anyways. Dislike it. I don't give a shit. Fucking up to you. Power's in your hands, folks. Ciao for now.